What's up guys, this is Rio, and today we're in the BMW 7 Series. Alright, so we're in a 2019 740i BMW, and we're going to find out if it's a good luxury sedan for around $50,000. There's a couple big caveats I want to get out of the way with this particular car. One is this thing is massive, and unless you really need something this big or something this flashy or what I would consider a land yacht, then I would just get a 5 Series or anything smaller than this. Audi A6, BMW, Mercedes E-Class, anything smaller than this. This thing is properly massive. However, if you are interested in this car and particularly want a car of this size, another thing I need to get out of the way is that there is a facelifted 7 Series that came out almost a year ago for the 2020 model year, and that car is almost exactly this exact same car, like 90% the same car. That facelifted car has new headlights, new taillights, way bigger front grille, a different digital dash, and a slightly better touchscreen infotainment system. And if I told you that that cost 40% more, you would tell me I'm crazy for you to pay 40% more for a grille, some lights, some improved LED lights. The car already has LED lights. Different screen that's already a screen, right? And a different touchscreen, there's already a touchscreen, and yeah, so it doesn't make you feel like that's worth 40% more money, which I don't think it is. And as much as if you can go lease one new, by all means do it. And again, it's almost the exact same car dynamically speaking, just some cosmetic differences. It is really cool looking, and as a car enthusiast, I think they made it look even more menacing, and it evokes a little bit more of an aggressive and mean look that I think looks sweet. But sticking with this particular car and the fact that you can get these pre-facelift cars way back to 2016 up until 2019 for around anywhere between 40 to 70,000 depending on the year and the mileage, but I would say the sweet spot's about 50-ish thousand for a 2018 model with about 15,000 miles, which is nothing on it. So really affordable for a car that's so new and a car that costs over $90,000 the way this one's equipped new. So speaking of this car though, there are some things I love about it and there's some things I can't stand about it. Now, one of the things that I love is that it's an extremely comfortable car, right? Like, it has air suspension, it soaks up all the imperfections in the road. The seats are pretty comfortable, the seating position is really nice, and I feel like kind of like a boss while I'm driving this. I also kind of feel like an Uber Black driver. And, that's an interesting duality, right? Like, that might just be because of my age and the kind of cars that I'm generally into, which are more performance-oriented cars. And this being so focused on luxury kind of, I guess, disappoints me in certain ways, but knowing that the people that want to buy this car likely aren't my age and likely want it for that exact purpose, which is the luxury and comfort. I mean, it's a stark contrast between this and a 3 Series or a 5 Series even. This feels so much more like a special car, right? It feels comfortable, large, smooth, soft. I mean, kind of feel like a big shot while driving this. So some of the things I don't like about this car. The chassis is pretty good. It has BMW's carbon core, chassis, whatever that means. It is pretty, tight. It's where it comes down to the suspension being an air suspension. It's pretty soft. The steering rack's pretty soft. It's not that it's not precise. You can point and shoot it pretty easily, but if you start pushing this car a little bit past about 5 or 6 tenths, it starts really feeling wobbly and loose and doesn't really feel confidence inspiring. In this car, you feel like you want to take it easy, have about 5 to 10% throttle the whole time, and just, like kick back, cruise. That's probably exactly what most people that buy this car want to do. Okay, so speaking of the suspension and the handling and whatnot, I want to go to the engine. So this is the 740, which is the smallest engine in the US you can get in a 7 Series. I think in other markets you can get a 730, which is a 4-cylinder, which I think is ridiculous. But the 740 here in the US is a 6-cylinder that has 335 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. I think that if what you want out of this car is for it to be luxurious and comfortable, why do you need 523 horsepower out of the V8 in the 750? Why do you need 600 horsepower out of the V12 in the M760? I think those cars are only good if you can easily afford this car and you just want a bigger engine or just something to show off and want to pay more at the gas station. But this thing's definitely a little bit more fuel efficient than those two. Obviously a V8 and a V12. This inline six is pretty peppy, and we'll give it a little pull in a second. It definitely doesn't leave me feeling like, oh, I wish this car was way faster. You know, it doesn't feel inadequate in any way. It feels pretty quick and peppy. Got some girls doing a TikTok in the street, very dope. Yeah, it feels pretty quick. We'll give it a little gas here in sport mode. You know, it kind of puts you back into your seat. It's definitely not slow, and it sounds pretty good. So it doesn't make me feel like, wow, I need a 750. And again, based on the chassis and how the car handles, it almost makes more sense that you get a 740. You save a little money, you still get the vibe, and just debadge the car if you want nobody to know. It has a ton of rear leg room. I'm sitting pretty far back, and I can probably imagine LeBron James sitting behind me right now. It's super, super spacious, and that's kind of one of the shortcomings of this particular car. It doesn't have the rear seat like luxury package, I believe. I don't know the exact name, but I'll put it here. Which gives you power rear seats, power adjustable rear seats that go forward and back, like you can lean them back a little bit and whatnot, and you can't in this car. But nonetheless, the rear leg room in this car is fantastic. It's huge, it's massive. I can't believe how big it is. I'm not even gonna show you how big it is, you have to just believe me. This car also is missing like a rear sunshade package. I don't know if it's bundled with that luxury pack, but all it has is like a big shade in the back that I just brought up, and makes rear visibility pretty tough, especially considering this car already has 5% tint on it. So I leave it down all the time, but I think it's cool for blocking out sun if you're in the back. That other package gives you shades on the sides, which again, this car doesn't have, but it does have a dual sunroof. So the rear has a sunroof, and with a button right here, I can close the cover or open it. It also has a pretty cool climate control setup here with a digital screen that you can mess with. You can change all the settings by touch. You can swipe your finger to do the classic BMW hot or cold. You know, besides the temperature, you can like make it micro adjustment. So it has some really cool touches that differentiate it from the 3 Series and the 5 Series and the rest of the BMW lineup to make it feel like, you know, a cut above. So if you guys know me, you know I'm trying to shamelessly become famous for the tall boy test. And it's not because I'm a tall boy, it's because I'm trying to fit some tall cans in this car and see how many tall cans, matter of fact, we can fit in this car. So let's find out with the tall boy test. This car also has a Harman Kardon audio system, which is standard on the 7 Series. Above this, I believe there's a Bang & Olufsen package that's like $5 or $6 grand. You know, whether or not I would tick that off, I think at this price, I might be, you know, tempted to just go all out and get the Bang & Olufsen, but this Harman Kardon's definitely a decent system. So this car doesn't have the optional entertainment package for the rear. I think I would leave it that way. I don't think I would get it because you might as well just get an iPad and you can do anything you want on an iPad. You can watch videos, you can get work done, you can contact people, and you can't do that on an iDrive entertainment system. So I would save my money there, not get a system that's going to be outdated, especially if you buy this car used. If you get a 2016 car, that system's going to be a little bit outdated already. I don't know if you guys can see this ambient lighting, but this car has a really, really nice purple. Well, you can make it any color you want, but it has like 10 color choices, but it has really sweet ambient lighting. I'll actually see if I can mess with it really quick. We'll make it green. You can make it, I think there's like bronze, orange, white, blue, green, purple. And I like the purple the best. I think it's a really nice little touch. It's not quite as impressive as, Mercedes-Benz with their like 64 different color choices, but it's still really nice, and it makes the cabin feel really, really luxurious at night. A lot of BMWs have it now. It's a pretty cheap option, but it's nice to see here nonetheless, especially considering you can get it on older 7 Series. However, speaking of Mercedes-Benz, that brings us to the point of competition. And I see this car's primary competition as the Audi A8 and the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. You can throw in the Maserati Quattroporte, you can throw on the Lexus LS and a few other cars, but really it's an Audi, BMW, Mercedes war. And I'm a Beamer boy through and through, but I'm kind of tempted to say that I would actually go ahead and get the S-Class. I think it's a really, really pretty car. It's a classic luxury sedan. I like it more. That car looks super, super clean, and I would be kind of remiss to tell you that I wouldn't get it. I think I would definitely get an S-Class, and you kind of feel like a G when you're in an S-Class. So that's my take, but this car is still sweet. This car is a little bit more unique. The 7 Series' primary purpose in my mind is to be a luxurious, large, comfortable sedan, and it does that exceptionally well. They nailed it. The car, does exactly what it's, being set out to do: be luxurious, comfortable, and large. Is it what I want at my age? Definitely not. But, if you're trying to show off a little bit, you're trying to be in a big, swooping sedan, this is it. This or its competition, but this is so affordable. I don't think this particular car has adaptive cruise control, unfortunately, but it's an option. So you could look for that if you really need that, or if you're gonna be commuting a lot in this. I also forgot to mention it has these like mirrors that fold down like right here, so you can like check yourself out in the back, which I guess is kind of cool. It's like you have mirrors in the front and the back in this car. I would say it's just enough driver oriented that you could still have a good time in it. If you're gonna be driving it, which I'm assuming at about 50,000 bucks, no one's gonna be buying this and then having someone chauffeur them around. So it's pretty sweet. Just like I said in the beginning, I would tell you that this is only worth it if you really, really do need to show off to a bunch of people and want to put, business associates or whatever. I don't know, I don't have any of those, but business associates in the back, or employees, or I don't know what you'd want to put in the back of this to be showing off. I guess to friends even, hop in the back, let's go somewhere, I don't know. It's cool. It's really, really nice though if you want a comfortable, luxurious, soothing drive. And like I said, my foot barely, like,
I gotta emphasize this.
when I drive even a base 330, I feel like I'm being egged on to push that car harder and harder. That's not a super fast car, but the way and the dynamics, the way it's set up, I want to keep pushing it. And this car, I have to consciously force myself to push this car. No part of it makes me want to push it, and that's why I think it's worth getting this motor. That's not an engine thing, that's a chassis thing, like the way this car is set up. This could have, the V12 in it, which is a hot rod of a motor, but I don't really want to push this car. I want to just cruise in it. Like, my foot is off the gas mostly. I'm barely touching the throttle. So I would say that in that sense, this car is pretty sweet. I would definitely recommend it and say that for $50,000, you kind of can't go wrong. So when I first got in this car, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I would actually stick with the 740. I would actually also stick with this rough spec. This has mineral white metallic, which is a metallic paint. I like Alpine white on BMWs, which is a non-metallic white, but I would stick with the white. I like this mocha interior. I think it looks pretty cool, fits the vibe of this car pretty well. I like the M Sport look that makes it a little sharper and sportier looking. The couple things I would change, I would probably go ahead and swing for that luxury pack or whatever it's called in the rear with electrically adjustable rear seats. And I would definitely not go with the entertainment pack. I would try to maybe get those cooler headlights, and it's kind of about it. This particular car doesn't have a head-up display, and that'd be nice too, but it's really only nice to see your speed. Other than that, this has a digital dash, and yeah, I think this car is pretty great, almost just as is. This exact car gets the job done, so no complaints here. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tune back in for more. As always, this is Rio. Peace.